Welcome everyone. The following video is for participants in the Certified Copywriting Specialist program. The goal of this lesson is to explain the Postscript, how it is used in effective copywriting, and to cover some strategies for using this tool. The Postscript should be familiar to those who still write letters. If you aren't, it is that last part of your letter preceded by P.S. The Postscript is utilized in personal letters to add an extra note that you may have forgotten to mention or that did not fit in with the actual body of the letter. It makes less sense these days to use because with computers, you can seamlessly insert the sentence into your original letter without eraser marks or having to start a whole new letter. So, why am I making a seemingly out-of-date section? Because the Postscript is relatively useless unless you are trying to reiterate an idea, promote a product subtly, inject some personality into your sales letter, or state the price or guarantee that you are offering. These are the uses that make the Postscript a very important aspect of copywriting to this day. Mastering the Postscript is an important lesson for copywriters because it gives you the opportunity to make a last-ditch effort at selling to the prospect. Sometimes, a potential buyer is not convinced until that one little detail that makes a guarantee pushes him or her over the edge to commit to buying the product. Other times, a prospect will skip the entire ad and scroll to the bottom looking for a summary of the price. The PS is an important way to sell your product in a sentence or less to this type of reader. You can also restate your proposal in the Postscript to appeal to those people who skim or may get lost in a long advertisement. Finally, you can also communicate personally to the reader in a way that you may not have in the body of the letter. These are just a few of the reasons why mastering the Postscript is an essential talent in copywriting. The Postscript is an easy way to add some personality and human touch to an otherwise boring sales letter. Sure, this course has heavily promoted the idea of never having a boring communication with a client, but it's nearly impossible sometimes to not have a rather mundane explanation of a new offer or anything that is wholly business related. To add a human touch to your letter, you might write something like, P.S. Be sure to order your copy as soon as you can. I just completed all my Christmas shopping online, and now I can relax with some hot chocolate at home while all my friends are running through the mall, battling over overpriced gifts and getting stressed by the holidays. This example is a subtle way to plant a sense of urgency in your prospect's mind and remind him or her that by buying your product, it will relieve the stress during a typically busy time. Finally, it reminds the client that by buying your product, you save time and money compared to traditional holiday shopping. All of this is done in a couple of sentences with a personal tone and a brief narrative. The Postscript is an easy way to promote your product. For example, if the product is a smartphone, you could use a PS like, if you're wondering whether you would actually use this product, just think you could be reading this email right now from anywhere. A Postscript like this addresses a final concern that the prospect might be having, whether a smartphone is really necessary, and does so with a lasting image. You can easily imagine yourself doing what you're doing already but more conveniently. This may be something that you already addressed in your letter, but by using the Postscript, you can subtly insert a promotion or a benefit that may drive the whole thing home. The Postscript can be used as a last-ditch effort to persuade the client to buy the product. You have made your pitch already in the main body of the letter, but in case he or she is still not convinced, you can give a summary of your letter. This is a great way to attract people who skim letters and may otherwise overlook the value of your deal. So, for example, if I am offering a motorcycle training course, I might say, P.S. If you're still on the fence, just think that you can become fully trained on a motorcycle by a certified trainer in just 6 hours. After that, it's just you and the open road. This example reiterates the main idea of the advertisement and cuts through all of the copywriting that the prospect may not be interested in. Some people are very busy and hate to read through even a single paragraph. In that one sentence, you understand exactly what I am offering, a 6-hour course in motorcycling by a certified trainer. Then, I added the open road comment to return the prospect to the idea that the prospect is probably most connected to, the open road and freedom of driving a motorcycle versus the idea of spending a Saturday afternoon training with 20 other people in a parking lot somewhere. So, a postscript is a great way to summarize the offer, but be careful not to lose the idea of the advertisement. The postscript can also be used to reveal what is most often the most important concern for the prospect, the price. So, in a postscript, you can use a bottom line to literally reveal the bottom line. P.S. With this awesome of a deal, can you afford not to pay just $47? The point of this type of postscript is to inform the prospect of how much the product costs. But, for some products, it may be better to wait until this point to reveal the price. This way you have the entire letter to prove to the prospect why it is worth at least $47. By the end of the letter, you should have your client very interested in your product with just that one last detail. I often read through the whole letter and think, wow, this sounds great as long as it doesn't cost $1 million, only to find it is a very reasonable price. In my mind, this builds a kind of suspense for the reader because I am waiting on that price and I am happy to see that it is not way overpriced. Plus, many people will scan an ad to get to the price, and by inserting it in at the end, you can potentially force the reader to read the whole ad. At the beginning, a reader may be unaware of the benefits and immediately reject the ad if you show the price too early. This last use of postscript is similar to the last one in that you are inserting an important fact in your letter that may persuade the prospect one way or the other. A guarantee is a simple way to push aside any concerns that the reader may be having and ensure that he or she can trust you. Here is an example of a guarantee in the postscript. P.S. I know that a lot of companies have been selling cheap imitations of my product, so I want to guarantee you that if you are not satisfied with the item you receive, then I will personally write you a check for the full amount. This is how confident I am that you will love this product. This example highlights the concerns that a prospect might be having. This is especially true in internet marketing because many scam artists have preyed on hapless online shoppers. So, a big concern when buying online is whether the product that arrives will be anything like what was promised in the ad or not. To address this fear, you can insert a postscript guarantee that ensures the customer is satisfied. I added, I will personally write you a check to connect more to the reader and to show that I am a person, not a shady business, and can be trusted. In this short phrase, I am trying to establish a personal connection because the internet is a pretty non-personal medium, and consumers like to feel like there is an actual person on the other end. I hope that this tutorial on postscripts was helpful in understanding why you should use a postscript and some ways to do that effectively. Thank you once again for your time and attention, and this was BusinessTraining.com, where you can earn master's level qualifications to make more money.